one because of someone else's thoughts is something I'm going to stay away from. Now, that being said, my wife tried to edit that out of my speech. So, and I snuck it back in on that. So let me give you a little bit of thought, and I hope you can appreciate this, my thoughts on why and where and what direction I'm going in, so that maybe you can feel that, hey, this guy's not for me, or he is, or how I'm thinking. So let me just give you a little bit about myself here. I was born a white male in 1956. I had great parents, a great childhood, a great education. I have great friends. My childhood friends are in this room right now. I had a great wife, as I did still do, of course. I have great children. Once I decided to do that was almost over. Once I decided to do this, she said, seriously? Because I first tried to convince her to do this, so I wouldn't have to. And I was fortunate enough in my lifetime to also obtain a great job, which in my particular case was working for myself. You know, that's a pretty good hand that I was dealt. And being dealt that, I've got to be very grateful. With that being said, I realize not everyone out there is as fortunate as I am. There's many people who, through no fault of their own, are born into situations that require community help. It's incumbent upon people like myself, and a lot of you people in here also, who have the same life experience I had, who've had society's best opportunities to give back to our community to make sure everyone has an equal chance at working for a good and comfortable life. And the reason that I've chosen a school board is because I believe education is a vehicle that allow that kind of change to happen in people's lives. And I'm not so sure the Allentown School District right now is living up to what it actually can do for a lot of our community residents. It's like the State of the Union. I didn't see you clapping over there, Donnie. All right. Anyway, I believe through my education, my life experiences, that I've developed the empathy, the understanding, and personal skills to help others less fortunate than I have been, because I've really had a lucky time in my life getting to where I am. Now, for you Seinfeld fans, and I'm sure you have a couple, let me put that whole thing in a Seinfeld. Here we go. Stay with me, Seinfeld fans. Born lucky white boy, Allentown, Brown University, coach at Allen, yada, 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 run for school board. I believe that Allentown has dropped the ball on being an inclusive community also. By inclusive, I mean referring to including the voices of all our Allentown citizens, family, parents, students, and at-large community members. We need to reach into all sections of our community and include the voices of all socioeconomic neighborhoods in our discussions. Some of our communities are not comfortable in coming to school board meetings or expressing themselves in public due to the lack of education or life skills. Many don't even speak the language that the majority of our school board members speak. That doesn't mean that these citizens should be excluded from the conversation about their kids and their community. We need to work in involving these individuals and giving them a voice in how to help children and families of Allentown. I plan on going into diverse neighborhoods, and I don't think we've done this well enough. I've spoken several times about this, of not sitting here in this big building waiting for people to come to us, because what I was saying, there's a lot of our community that's not comfortable doing that. So it's incumbent upon us who have the ability and the power and the influence to go into communities and speak directly to and involve people in what our decisions are. I find, at least my observations are, that we find ourselves sitting and waiting for people to come to us. I coach basketball, as a lot of you know, at Allen, and I would have meetings where I would, at Allen, tell my kids, hey, listen, we're getting ready to start another season. I want to meet family, friends. I want your parents here. Nobody showed up. All right? Maybe if I did this down in their church, at the boys' club, at someplace else, it would have been more comfortable. A lot of people aren't comfortable coming to what they perceive as the power structure of what they're dealing with. So maybe that was part of my fault, but it was an example of it not a breakdown in communication for those kids and those families. So with that being said, I think it's something that we really need to do, and I will be one that will try and lead as to go into communities to drag everybody into the conversation. So we need to work at involving these individuals, giving them a voice, and how to help the children and families. The plan, as I said, going into these neighborhoods and getting these citizens to, everybody benefits from it. If everybody's included and they feel it's their community, if they feel they have a voice, our communities become friendlier, cleaner, safer. And that environment provides an environment of education, and prepares, of course, what we said from the beginning, education prepares people for their life. And I think will solve a lot of problems if we can just, a lot of our guys here, I have some friends here also that played football with me at Allen. When we went to play, we played Deeruff, November 1973, there were 10,000 people in the stands. Wow. All right? You don't get 1,000 people now. There's a lack of community cohesiveness here, and it's something that we need to address, and I think the education part of it is where we really need to start this. I don't think both our city government and our school district do enough community outreach, including people in what's going on. So I think that's an important part of it, and a lot of you I know remember those days, and I hate to say those days, but those days still do exist in the Parklands and the East Penns, where people, parents, friends, students come to see. So I think that's part of what we need to do. But along with the outreach position that I just explained, I stand with the children and the classroom teachers. There's no more important factor in determining a successful educational program than that of caring, dedicated, and determined teachers. It's this very connection that determines the success of our educational system and the success of the kids that are part of that educational system. I don't know if you saw it, I'm pretty excited about this recently hired Secretary of Education, Pedro Rivera. Has everybody seen our new, who Tom Wolf is? What is it? I mean, this guy seems fantastic. He was asked, how had he been so successful in turning around the Lancaster School District? He said that keeping kids insulated made the difference, meaning don't take from the kids. In Allentown, we've taken away from the kids. We've removed arts. We've removed recess. We've removed some curriculum. And we've therefore affected the education of our children in a negative way. By the way, Mr. Rivera also was very emphatic about including family, parents, and kids as part of his success model. And if you get a chance, there was